Senator Horan for highlighting this issue and bringing it to the fore, and I'm here today to fully support your motion. I'd also like to praise Minister Harris and his department staff for really making this issue a priority and also highlighting the issues facing staff and students in higher education and his ongoing initiatives to create safe campuses for all. Indeed, last year Minister Harris confirmed a survey was to be carried out into harassment, sexual harassment and bullying of both staff and students in our institutions. The survey will be open for a number of weeks and its findings are due to be published by the end of the current academic year. I think this is very important, and we know that DCU have done a lot of work on this, but that seemed to be concentrated previously in the primary and post-primary level, so I'm delighted that this is happening. In 2021, colleges across Ireland will implement a range of steps to fight sexual violence, including consent classes, disclosure training and anonymous reporting tools. However, in this ever-changing world, we need to focus on educating our young people. Why not start in secondary school? We need to start the conversation probably earlier than we would like to, but it needs to be done. A study published by the Rape Crisis Network Ireland in July of this year has warned that Irish teenagers are experiencing high levels of sexual harassment, with 80% of adolescents reporting that they've been subject to some form of harassment in the last year. This was based on a survey of 600 teenagers and interviews with 93 adolescents and 21 youth workers. It asked participants about their experiences during the last 12 months, with ages ranging from 13 to 17. The findings showed that 24% of teenagers surveyed were subjected to physical or extreme forms of sexual harassment, while 83% had witnessed some form of sexual harassment. That's a staggering percentage figure. Over 40% of the sexual harassment reported by the teenagers surveyed occurred online, while 12% took place in the school. The report also found that nearly 70% of LGBT teenagers had experienced serious sexual harassment, while girls were nearly 2 to 1 times more likely to have experienced unwanted sexual touches compared to boys. Girls were also twice as likely to have faced sexual harassment online compared to boys. I'm not in favour of the issue of non-disclosure agreements. I think we need to listen to victims, not silence them. I sit on the Joint Oireachtas Committee, which is presently discussing the pre-legislative scrutiny on the Online Safety and Media Relations Bill with Senator Byrne there, and we've been discussing the whole issue of online bullying and digital safety with a number of companies, and it's been highlighted with all the members of that committee with the various social media companies when they come into us. And indeed we asked that an education programme would be funded by them social media companies. We had Facebook, Twitter and TikTok in with us. We got a varying level of commitment, but I have to compliment TikTok, who have engaged with myself since that and are prepared to put funding behind a scheme like that. I think it's important to recognise that positive engagement. I'd like to support the comments of Senator Byrne there recently in relation to his colleagues following the Fianna Fáil thinking. We're all colleagues here at the Oireachtas, and I think comments like that are completely out of order. It's a very poor standard of journalism. It's very hard to put yourself up for public life, and I think one's personal dress, one's family, one's sexuality, they're off limits, and I think that needs to be put out there. I think the media deserve to apologise to our colleagues for them comments. I just want to finish off by comments actually you've made yourself, Minister, recently, and I think it touches on the whole issue. We need to work together to create a culture of zero tolerance, where education around consent is a requirement and not an option, not just for students, but also for those teaching and guiding them. The very least our young people deserve is a safe environment to study and work free from harassment or violence. Thank you very much.
Senator Fintan Murphy.